If you're tired of your 9 to 5, or you're looking for better alternatives to invest, or you're looking for a way to become financially free, stay tuned to my program where I teach people how to become financially free through multifamily real estate. Doing the due diligence comes with a cost, but it's a lower cost compared to what you will lose in the future if you do not do these things. Title documents, you need to verify what exactly, who owns it, are there any links on it, and all that. If it's an HOA, look through the HOA document. Many people don't go through the HOA documents if you are buying a condominium. It's important you go through it. There are many items there that you might want to push back on, or things that you might want to run away from. So check the HOA if you're buying a condominium type of multifamily. Building permits and inspection reports. Go to the city, make your research. Insurance policy, know exactly what their insurance is covering. Remember, we have liability insurance. We also have the property insurance. So you need to know what exactly the property insurance is covering. That will help you take some decision. Zoning and land use documents. We've seen so many people converting office spaces, or we are hearing people trying to convert office spaces to residential. You need to find out if it has the code to do that, or if you can even convert it to residential code. So zoning, and also the zone, can they allow that residential property stay on that zone? So these are things you need to understand. And it's possible that the previous owner you're buying for did all the conversion, converted it from an hotel to a residential. You came over and you took it up without doing your verification. This would be an issue if you did not do your zoning and land use documents. One day you see the city coming and giving you, it might take years, but it's going to happen. They will cite you, and that will be a lot of issues. Like, we bought a property, and the property was actually a warehouse, but we bought it as a commercial space for a church. No, the property was bought in 1998, yes, but the city did not come to us until 2018. So it can take time for them to, especially if somebody reports to them. But it took us years to know that our property was actually converted from a warehouse to another space, and we bought it and took up the liability. We couldn't conform to, because the city asked us to convert it back. We had to sell the property. So these are things you want to avoid and all that. So the last but not the least, asset quality assessment. Like I said, these are basically involving like third parties to help you do your property inspections. I use my property management company to do the property inspections. They come along with a contractor as well. So in that way, it's comprehensive, and they give me a detailed report on each of the units, each of the property, everything. Then for civil engineering consultant, at the period where the property manager is doing the inspection, if you have a good property manager and a construction specialist on site, they can tell you if this building has a structural issue. If it does, they will now refer you to a civil engineer to be able to tell if it really has structural issues. Appraiser, I tend to beg my loan broker to start the process of getting an appraiser earlier on, before my 30 days expires, because I always want to have an idea of if the property even appraised. So we start the process earlier on doing the due diligence, so that before the 30 days, at least we'll get the report and we'll know, okay, fine, it's appraised at least. Property manager, you need to vet the contract at that time to know if there are no hidden issues. All these things are done during the due diligence. Environmental consultant, you need to engage an environmental person to do your environmental report. If you have an environmental issue on a property, this might cost you a lot. In short, you don't want to go through that. Then my financial analyst, typically I use my property manager. What they do here is they do a lease audit. So they take all the leases and start verifying it. Who are the people staying in the unit? What occupation? They'll do a background check on them to see who they are and all that. What type of income do they get and all that? Because you want to be sure they can pay. You want to be sure of the quality of tenants that the previous owner have on their property. On one of the auditing we're doing, we found out that we had a pedo fight in the midst of the tenant. We had to request that the landlord evicts that person from that property before we took over. So These are things you really want to find out, but you need the support of these people. And the last one is general contractor. You get them involved with your property manager. And here we go. So with this, if you're able to do all this in your due diligence process, you'll be able to determine, is it a yeah or a nay? You'll be able to determine that at that point. Please, for any of you doing your due diligence and the seller is not willing to provide you with any due diligence items, then you might need to do extra job on it. Don't allow anything slide, because it's possible that there are lots going on that property, or you walk away. Because it cannot tell you it doesn't have the lease agreement, it doesn't have some basic things and all that. If it's not giving them to you, and you know you cannot do the findings yourself, or you don't have the technical skills, or you don't have the property manager or whoever to assist you, please take a walk, because you need those things, to keep going. Something we try not to do is give more money for more than the value of the property. So some people might ignore it and just say, I'll go ahead and buy it anyways. $100,000 will not kill the deal. That might not be true. You need to check with your underwriting if the additional $100,000 that the broker or the owner is asking for, what is the effect on it? Or can I increase my other income to help cover up for the additional $100,000 I'm giving to the seller? So these are things you need to ask. Don't just accept offers, or if they are pushing you, you don't have to necessarily move with them as well. So sometimes you need to just be firm. So thank you all for your time.